Hi everyone. In today's video, we will be looking at clinical mode and lab mode within the TrueLab app. Specifically, we'll be looking at these modes through the Clinical Research Coordinator user profile. This video is designed for a research coordinator or other clinical site staff that will be doing both collection and processing, and then logging samples from the point of collection through processing into the TrueLab app. So to begin, I'm going to log into my user account from this page here. And so we'll use the Clinical Research Coordinator profile, and now I can log in with my PIN. Next, you'll see we're within clinical mode in the TrueLab app, and this is our active subjects page. So right now, there's one subject that's active. You can see that they're flashing red because they have a sample collection that's late by 25 minutes and needs to be logged. Before we look at actually logging sample collections, we can go ahead and check in a new subject right here. So to check in a new subject that has just arrived for their visit, I'll click the Check in Subject button, and now I can select the cohort with which they're a part. I can select the subject number, and all of these will be preloaded into the TrueLab app based on the subjects that your site expects to screen and enroll. I can select 01-105, and we'll also preload their next scheduled visit, which in this case is day 2. And I can review this information to be correct and hit check-in subject. You can see here that the check-in was logged successfully, and now they appear in the active subject screen in a green banner because they're in window for sample collection. If I click in, I can see that their scheduled list of assessments or tasks for day 2 is already loaded in the TrueLab app. So this will help you stay on task with what you have to do for each patient that comes in for a specific visit, as well as know in what order the tasks need to be collected. So now we'll go back and log the sample collection for the patient that's out of window. So you can see here that their tasks are included as well and preloaded within the app. And now they have a 1-hour plasma PK sample that is 27 minutes past its standard collection time. So I'm going to go ahead and start this sample collection. Now, to log the sample, I'm prompted to scan a barcode on a Vacutainer. So here, I have a Vacutainer, and I'll slowly turn it to capture the barcode. Now, I can review this information and make sure that it looks correct, as well as add any annotation if necessary. I can adjust the sample collection time if I need to, in case the sample was collected slightly before I was able to log it in the TrueLab app, and then hit submit. And now you see that that sample collection task was logged successfully. Now we're going to move into lab mode within the TrueLab app. We can go up here to the top where it says switch modes and select this button. Now we're in lab mode. And this will be when we move into the sample processing section of the app. So you can imagine if you've already collected the initial plasma PK sample, now you've moved down to the lab to do the processing. So here we have 3 main sections within lab mode, which are aliquot, storage, and shipping. These sections represent the 3 main tasks that you'll be doing in lab mode. Here we have a list of the sample types and how many Vacutainers are ready to have their aliquots logged. So we'll look at plasma PK. To start logging the aliquots that came from the initial plasma PK Vacutainer, I'll select the plasma PK banner. And now I'm prompted to scan the Vacutainer from the initial plasma PK collection. And we prompt the scan of the Vacutainer in order to tie all of the aliquot tubes that come from that Vacutainer to the original collection tube. So now I'm prompted to scan each of the plasma PK aliquot tubes. Once I have these all scanned, I can review the barcodes and make sure they look correct, as well as add an annotation if necessary, and adjust the time if necessary. When everything looks correct, I can hit submit. Now you'll see those two aliquots have dropped down to the Waiting for Storage tab. When I'm ready to store these samples, I can select Waiting for Storage and then click on the two aliquot tubes that I'm ready to store. Or I can simply select all if I'm scanning in or storing all of these tubes. I can hit Next, and now I'm prompted to scan the storage location barcode for the location in which I'm putting the samples. And so here you can see that I have an example barcode on an image of a freezer. And TrueLab will send your site's freezer barcode stickers to place on your freezers so that you can easily scan all of the locations that samples will be stored in. So in this example here, we have the two sample tubes that have been stored, as well as the location in which they're stored. So you can review this information, make sure that it looks correct, and then hit Submit. Now finally, these two aliquot tubes have dropped down to the Waiting to Ship tab. And so now, when we're ready to ship these samples, we can select Waiting to Ship. Now I'm prompted to scan the two tubes that will be going in the shipment. So I'll scan the first one. Now I'll scan the second one. In this example, the tube that I scanned was not the correct tube that is in the shipment. And so this is one functionality within TrueLab in which there's built-in error handling to capture any samples that may not have been designated for shipment to this specified lab or central lab. So now I'll scan the correct tube, and then I'll go ahead and scan the tracking number for these two tubes. So I can select Scan Tracking Number, and now I'm prompted to scan the shipping label barcode, which will capture the tracking number. You can review this information to make sure that it looks good, as well as the tracking number, and then hit Submit. So in this video, we've looked at both clinical mode and lab mode within the TrueLab app, which includes checking in a subject for their visit, logging an initial sample collection, as well as logging aliquot tubes, storing them, and then shipping these tubes as well, all while capturing this information within the TrueLab application.